everyone, it's MeShell, and in this Ark Genesis 2 video, I'm going to be showing you how to tame the Maewing and everything that you need to know about using this cute little creature. So let's go ahead and get started. One of the first things that you can do is go ahead and unlock the engram for the Maewing saddle. And you unlock it at level 19 and it costs 24 points to unlock. To craft it, you need to craft it in a smithy, which costs 30 metal ingots, 320 hide, and 170 fiber. One thing that you can do that would help out quite a bit is go ahead into your engrams and you can go on the filter where it says Genesis 2, scroll down to where you see net projectile, go ahead and learn that, and you learn it at level 43 and it costs 12 engram points. Go ahead and learn that, and because I learned that, I had to learn the harpoon launcher, which is what you're going to need to power this thing. Go ahead and craft your harpoon launcher. And there we go. The next thing we want to do is craft our net projectile, which is crafted in our inventory. So let's go ahead and grab the materials for that, and it costs fiber, metal, and polymer. Let's go ahead and craft up as many of these as we can. Once you've crafted your harpoon launcher and your net projectile ammo, go ahead and get yourself some exceptional kibble. Now, here's the thing. I'm using exceptional kibble for this to tame because I know it will tame it. You might be asking, why aren't I using extraordinary kibble? And here's the thing. I have not found honey yet on this map, and you need honey in order to craft extraordinary kibble. So at the moment, I can't get it, but the highest tier kibble that I can craft is exceptional kibble. So that's why I'm using this, and it will work for the Maewings. Now, the other thing that I should point out too is that if you're low tier as well coming into Genesis Part 2, you can use berries to tame it. So that's why I have some berries with me. But again, at this point, you should be using some kibble to tame this, especially if you find a high level one. So make sure that you have your net projectiles. You should really only need one of these in order to capture yours. And make sure you have some tranq darts with you at the ready and some narcotic as well too. So go ahead and load these net projectiles into your harpoon launcher. Mine are already loaded, and let's go find ourselves a nice high-level Maewing. One thing you should know about the Maewings is that they are passive, meaning you can walk right up to them and they're not going to aggro onto you or attack you. However, once you do start attacking it, once you start shooting it with the tranq darts, it will want to do what is called passive flee, kind of like the gas bag. So if I shoot this right now with my tranq darts, it is going to want to get the heck out of here. So that's why we crafted the net projectiles. So when you do find yourself a nice high-level Maewing, go ahead and pull out your harpoon launcher and trap it in place, and then we can start feeding it the kibble. But you want to make sure that you are going for a high level, because why not? The higher the level, the better the Maewing. There's a level 150 right there. I'm going to go ahead and pull out my net launcher here, and I'm going to go ahead and just fire. Just like that. It is that simple. And all I have to do, guys, is start tranqing it. If I hold H on HLNA to scan it, I can see its torpidity, so I know when to stop shooting it. Plus, I can see that it's getting tranqed and it is working. This is literally the best thing that they have added in Ark in a very long time. And I'm so glad that they've finally done this because I was so sick and tired of actually building traps. I think it was one of the most ugliest things to see traps laying about. So I'm really glad that they added this feature. Look how easy it is. I already have myself a level 150 Maewing knocked out. And bam, there it is. All I have to do now is wait for this thing to get hungry, and then I can start feeding it kibble. I'm going to wait for it to starve a bit, and then I'll put the kibble in its inventory. I'll go ahead and put in everything just to show you, but it will eat the exceptional kibble out of everything. The torpidity doesn't drop that fast, but I'm still going to keep an eye on it and make sure that it's topped up. The food's pretty low on the Maewing, so I'm going to go ahead and insert everything into its inventory. And you can see that it is eating the exceptional kibble here. And this is set at ×1 on Taming on single player mode. The taming effectiveness has not dropped at all, so you know that this is the correct kibble for it. It's probably not going to tame all the way. It's going to be just close. I probably should have waited just a little bit more, but that's okay. And there we go. There's our very own Maewing. Let's go ahead and take out the exceptional kibble. Doesn't need the trank darts, and we'll collect everything that we need out of here. Alright, so now we have ourselves a max level Maewing tamed up. So now let's go ahead and get our saddle for it, and we can go ahead and equip it and see what it can do. These are its stats. This is a level 150. I've not put the stats through a calculator. I'm not entirely sure what the best stats are in this situation, but overall it seems, I don't know, kind of basic in terms of like health, stamina, weight, and melee damage as well. But to be fair, these are probably not warriors. We're going to be using these for something else. So let's go get a saddle for this and let's see what it can do. Let's go ahead and put the saddle on it. And let's get on top of this. Let's take a peek at it. It looks pretty darn cool looking. To be fair, I don't really think it looks too much like a platypus. It kind of looks like a sugar glider, for those of you that are familiar with sugar gliders. Because when it jumps, it's got little flappy wings on it. I do want to take a moment and just kind of look around at it and see its features. I know that these things are supposed to care for young, and it looks like it has something coming out of its sides. Yeah. Enable nursing baby feeding trough. Nursing range. Yeah, so the babies can feed off of the milk of the Maewing. Okay, let's go ahead and turn that off. I'm done seeing that. Alright, so let's go on to its features. So the Maewing has a jump to it. You can press space to jump once, like that, but it also has a charge jump, meaning if you hold down space, it'll jump even higher. Just like that, but there's more to it as well. So if you hold down space, jump up really high, you see how fast you fall? Well, guess what? If you hold right mouse button down, it opens up its little parachutes like this. So let's jump up real high. Right mouse button, and you start parachuting down nice and slow. So you have a more controlled way of coming down. A little bit slower, if you will. The other thing that this can do is it can also glide along the land as well, too. Let me show you on water first. If I jump up real high, and then I move forward with shift, I glide really quick and I slide along the land like this with a speed boost. And as I keep going down, it seems to pick up more and more speed. But the moment that I start going uphill, I lose that speed. So you could take this thing and pretty much just glide along land as long as you have a slope that's going down. And you can keep gliding like this. This thing is awesome. It does have a really, really long range. It's almost like a flyer, even though it's not technically a flyer. And I can traverse across the map pretty darn far. And then if I want to slow down, right mouse button, speed it back up. Let's go for some water. Just like that. And I'm gliding along the water. And rinse and repeat just like this. This thing is awesome. I absolutely like this creature a lot. Let's check out its swimming abilities. It's actually quite quick to swim too. Like, incredibly fast. It is an incredibly fast swimmer. Left mouse button does its basic attack as well too, but again, I would not recommend using this thing to actually fight. I don't know why you would want to use this to fight. C does a basic attack as well too. And left mouse button, when you go up to bushes, harvest berries and fiber and such like that. It's actually a decent fiber gatherer. I would say this would be a really good mount early on in game.
Entry from the ship's database. Huh. Wonder who logged this one.
So that is pretty much the easiest way to tame a Maewing. They're not hard at all, guys. It's incredibly basic. So now on to what are some of the other features that it can do, because if you look at the mouse wheel on here, enable nursing baby feeding trough, and then pick up baby. Let's check out that feature and how that works with the Maewing. One thing with the Maewings that I want to point out after we've gone ahead and tamed them is that you can actually mate them. If you go up to your Maewings, if you have 2 of them that are tamed, and you go up to them and behavior enable mating, they will actually start mating together. And I find that incredibly odd. Twisted actually pointed that out to me, so thanks for pointing that out, man. I really appreciate it. But if you look, they actually have a mating bar below, and they're gradually going up right now. And that just throws me off because it says gender NA, as though like it's not assigned a specific gender. And that reminds me of creatures in the game like the griffins, or in the past before you could breed the wyverns together. So I find that a bit strange. I don't know if this is a bug or something, or maybe they're going to eventually fix this so that they cannot mate together. Who knows? Maybe this was intended. But regardless, I just wanted to point that out. There are a couple of things with the Maewings I want to bring to attention as well too, and that is the whole enable nursing baby feeding trough. And that you need to read carefully. Baby feeding trough. And I'll explain that in just a moment, but the animation that you guys can see is the milk that's coming out of the teats on the side. I'm going to turn that off for right now, disable nursing. And all I'm doing at the moment is just waiting for the mating interval to go up to see whether or not they drop an egg or a baby. The other feature that's with the saddle as well too is pick up baby. So being able to pick up the babies. But first, let's go ahead and wait for the interval to go up, and let's see if it drops an egg or if it makes a baby. Alright, and there we go, guys. So it's gone ahead and dropped 2 eggs here, and let's go up to the Maewing eggs. And egg health is it's lowering quite a bit. There we go. It's not incubating at the moment. This one here, egg incubation is 100%. Let's go ahead and pick these up, and let's see if we can get these to hatch out. So it's actually dropped us some eggs. So let's see if we can actually get some more eggs out of these. Let's get some more Maewing eggs out of this. Literally put them right next to a fire, just one little campfire, and that did it right there. These are still mating, by the way. They'll mate in 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Let's go ahead and claim the baby Maewings here. Those hatched really fast, by the way, like pretty instantaneous. Okay, so let's go ahead and put them on passive and get them to not follow here. And let's get them closer to one of the parents. Now, I already have enabled the nursing on them, so I could disable the nursing and then the milk will not squirt out of the teats on the side, but that's what I want. I want to make sure that they are nursing. So let me just turn them both off for a minute, and then let me turn the nursing back on this one here, and let's see how this works with the babies. Because you need to keep in mind that it says enable nursing. It says enable nursing baby feeding trough, meaning that it'll only work with baby dinos. So let's see how this works here. So the food is at 18. Yep, there we go. So if you look at the food of the babies here, this one in particular, the level 219 baby, it's at 1840, 1855, 1860. It keeps going up. As long as the nursing is on, then this is fine. I'm not entirely sure what the range is of the nursing, 1,000, what that looks like. I don't see an indication on the Maewing itself, and when I hold down H, I don't really see anything. I don't see like a border or perimeter. I'm not really sure what 1,000 is, but you can see the little feeding troughs above the heads of the Maewing, so you know that it should technically be working. So the one other thing too that I'd point out is you want to have some food in the inventory of the Maewings, and you can also see nursing effectiveness. Hey, that's a new stat. And that's a new stat that is specific for Maewings because, hey, these things are nurse mothers. That's what their job is to do, is to nurse the babies. So if you're having these to help grow your baby dinos into the juvenile stage, then you probably want to have one Maewing that's put aside that is spec'd entirely into nursing. And that's actually increasing the range of the nursing. So the range went from 1,000 at base to 1,060. So that's what the range does itself. That's what the nursing stat does on the Maewings. But for right now, the other cool thing that you can do that I absolutely love is you can take them and you can put them onto the saddle. So right here where it says pick up baby, I have 2 Maewings next to me, so I can go ahead and pick up one. And look, it creates a little satchel right here. And there's the baby. Let's go ahead and pick up another baby. And there we go. I do have the option to pick up 2 more babies on the backhand side, but why would this be important? Well, it would be incredibly important if you have a large base, and like I said, you like breeding. I like breeding myself, and there are times where it's a struggle to move the babies from one area after they hatch to the other, the ones that you want to keep. So this is going to make it incredibly effective. Plus, if you're trying to move base, it's nice to be able to take your babies and move across. Now, keep in mind, guys, don't just leave your babies with the Maewings and expect them to grow up, because once they reach juvenile age, remember, they can eat out of a feeding trough. When they do reach juvenile age, they will not eat from the parent anymore. They will not eat from the parent, so you need to be careful with that. As of right now, the baby is doing just fine on food. Monitor it at first and make sure that it's coming out right. Just look at the food of the baby to make sure that it is coming out right before you invest all your time into that. But that, guys, is the Maewing. Now, there is the egg incubator as an engram for Ark Genesis 2, but that I feel is its own separate video, and that needs to be talked about in a different way. But that is everything that you need to know about the Maewing. I hope that this video has been helpful for you. If it has, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more notifications of when I upload next. Until then, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.